Hey, box breakers. Today I'm going to discuss why I believe reality TV should be canceled. And if that topic is interesting to you, please subscribe and like this video ahead of time. And let's break some boxes. I'm going to start by reading an essay. It's only going to take a few minutes. And then I'm going to give some commentary on this idea. If you're interested in reading along, please click the link in the description because it's publicly available. Reality TV is not just harmless entertainment or a glamorous shortcut to fame and fortune. Behind the bright lights and dramatic editing lies a system that capitalizes on economic vulnerability and psychological exploitation. Major television studios, backed by immense wealth, lure individuals, often those facing financial or personal hardship, into highly controlled environments where they are pushed to their emotional limits. Under the guise of opportunity, these participants are manipulated, isolated, and subjected to immense psychological stress, all for the sake of audience engagement and ratings. What results is not just fleeting fame, but often lasting trauma, broadcasted and consumed by millions for entertainment. Unlike ethical psychological research, informed consent in reality TV is deeply compromised. Contestants may sign contracts, but they rarely understand the full extent of the manipulation or mental distress they will endure. In many other contexts, these conditions would resemble a case study in psychological coercion. What would be considered unethical and unacceptable in a laboratory setting is normalized and even celebrated in the world of reality television. At their core, these shows are unregulated psychological experiments. They're carefully constructed to test the limits of human behavior without any of the ethical oversight demanded in legitimate research, and everybody knows it. Therefore, this practice amounts to an exploitation of economic power. It is a system where money manipulates vulnerable individuals, performing in ways they would never consent to under truly informed or equitable conditions, while hosts and producers reap enormous profits. Contestants often walk away with little more than fleeting exposure and long-term psychological harm. People's dignity is sacrificed for spectacle. I call for the television networks and media platforms that profit from such exploitative formats to be held fully accountable. Any production that subjects people to unregulated psychological stress, if I can speak properly, manipulation, and humiliation must either be shut down or brought under stringent ethical oversight. If research cannot ethically proceed without protections for human subjects, then entertainment that inflicts similar or greater harm should not be exempt. A format that would be rejected by an ethics board in academia has no place on our screens. We must stop normalizing trauma as entertainment. The cost is too high, and the price is paid by those least able to afford it. This culture of exploitation has helped pave the way for figures like Donald Trump. Reality television did not just entertain, it reshaped public values. It trained audiences to conflate charisma with truth, cruelty with leadership, and profits from spectacle with legitimacy. Trump's rise was not an accident, but a symptom of this environment. Narcissists now have a socially sanctioned, profit-driven outlet to indulge in domination, manipulation, and public humiliation, all under the guise of entertainment. The financial success of these formats gives their behavior a veneer of acceptability and power to continue without oversight. Trump's political style, marked by spectacle, personal attacks, and disregards for truth, is a direct extension of the reality TV ethos. His folly and the public's tolerance of it stems from a way of thinking born in this media culture, one that values performance over principle and attention over integrity. This should not continue in America or anywhere. And I stand by these words. That's the end of the essay, just so you know. And I want to go a little deeper into these ideas. What is this culture of exploitation and how did it develop? Well, to be honest, it's probably deeply ingrained in our history. Sorry. And our history goes back to all different cultures around the world where pain was enjoyed by the crowd. People would take out their revenge onto others, or people would enjoy watching other people suffer because then they could judge them and they could laugh at them with other people and feel accepted because we're all watching the same thing. And it doesn't matter if people get hurt doing it. It doesn't matter if we force people into a gladiatorial arena or to be doing all kinds of stuff for our pleasure. And I was watching Love Island, the new season of Love Island with my girlfriend. And I just find it to be so sad. Like, there's clearly a lot of people who go on these reality TV shows where they crave some sort of attention because of some difficulties they're going through or they're lonely. And then they get offered to be, oh, you'll find the love of your life. And it's usually just a charade. Obviously, these are not optimal conditions for finding the love of your life. And I think that shows like Love on the Spectrum, in a way, is also reality TV because it fetishizes autistic people. And I think it's pandered to like the neurotypical allistic gaze because they just think it's so adorable that autistic people are like being videoed and like basically they're like given this celebrity status because of like this TV show where it's not all legit, you know? And a lot of it isn't about actual love. A lot of it's just about getting profits. And there's clear examples of how reality TV has led to prolonged psychological trauma in the people who participate in it. And these things, if you did anything remotely similar to this, like psychologically, if you were testing for these same things, I mean, people would be punished for this kind of thing in any fair kind of system where it isn't just about profit. It isn't just about trying to get the most amount of views. And it's not exempt on YouTube either. There's all kinds of channels where poor people are made to like do crazy things for a crowd so the creator of the video can make a bunch of money. And then guess what? The people in the video get pocket change or a little attention. And taking advantage of people's desire to get attention is psychological coercion. And I don't think we should be encouraging this. And hopefully someday, unless there are ethical boundaries put onto these kinds of social experiments, they should be prevented from existing. It's just unfortunate how many people have had to suffer and how people feel pushed to participate in this stuff because it could be their 5 seconds of fame or their... And there's been plenty of celebrities who have made their like career started with reality TV. So it continues to incentivize this psychological trauma for the sake of a few people who maybe enjoyed the experience. And I'm not saying that they're evil because they participated in this, or that people who are watching reality TV that they're evil. I think that it's so profoundly um, a part of the culture that it's really hard not to get pressured into it, anyways. So I'm not really trying to put this moralistic lens up to it to make how do I put it, like, to just point the finger at other people and say you're bad. I'm not really interested in that. I'm just saying and looking at this from a systemic perspective and observing that this probably should not continue into further generations. We shouldn't allow this to continue past a certain point. And I hope that this reaches the right audience. And if you thought this video was interesting and enjoyed the essay I read, feel free to subscribe. I really appreciate it, because I want to keep doing work like this. And I also don't want to edit my videos, because I want people to hear how an actual autistic person speaks when they're not constantly regulating themselves to be more liked by others in a way that's non-autistic. So what you heard is autistic as heck. So give it a like if you appreciate that I'm not willing to try and destroy your attention span to be slightly more engaging.